picture just now? That was what I was at my goal.
The what?
The picture in the intro of me. When I get to my goal, that's what.
You're live now, by the way.
I don't care. So, hey, people. Hey, good evening.
Good evening, Darkness Live Tribe.
We've got Lena, I see, and the good captain is back.
Captain Carl.
I feel like that is like a movie, like, I'm back. Or, what is it, Arnold? Is Arnold Schwarzenegger? Is it him?
Well, you had in Poltergeist, you had the little girl that said, they're here. And then in Poltergeist 2, she said, they're back.
I never saw Poltergeist 2, actually. I liked the original with, what's his name? Ted, is that Ted Danson?
I don't remember.
The guy who, okay, well, anyways, I feel bad. I don't think it's Ted Danson. I can't remember his name. But it doesn't even matter.
No, it's not okay. Ted Danson.
He was in the show Cheers, right? The guy that you're talking about? The dad, well, I'm talking about.
Well, maybe, hell, I don't know.
In Poltergeist 1.
I don't know.
He played the father in Poltergeist 1.
I don't know.
I don't either. I can see his face,
it's been way too long since I've seen that movie.
Okay, well, anyways, it's a good one. It's a good one to see. Yeah.
So what's up, everyone?
J. Pot Stephanie up just a little. What does that mean?
Turn you up.
Oh, I'm glad he can decipher. Coach. Yep. Coach. So the name of the show was Coach or Cheers? Or there was two separate shows?
That was two separate shows, but...
Woody Harrelson was in Cheers, right?
Well, Ted Danson was on Cheers, and I don't think Ted Danson was on Coach.
I can't even picture what Ted Danson looks like. That's a terrible thing to admit. It's a terrible thing to admit. Barbara. Hi, Barbara. Oh, and Tiffany's watching. Hi, Tiffany. Tasha's watching, too. Hi, Tasha.
Cool.
Yes, welcome all. Happy Monday.
How's everyone doing tonight?
Well, so I got swabbed today. I could no longer avoid the good old nasal swab, and I did
Gotta find out. I like that. They're one of our coworkers on her desk has the perfect sign right now. That says that's it. Craig T. Nelson.
Thank you, Carl. I knew somebody would help me out there.
But the sign on her desk says biggest game of cooties ever.
Yeah, it's the best thing made in China. It's still lasting, right?
Right.
I saw that meme as well. I can't take credit for that, but it was really funny. But yeah, so I got swabbed today, and I was so nervous. You can probably imagine. Because when it comes to anything physically that I don't know what I'm going to be experiencing, oh my God, I almost can't. I'm unnerved. And the gal, she's in her red, lab coat.
Yeah, right.
Like, throwaway gown thing, and
she said she had to start doing that because people started sneezing on her.
Sneezing all over. And you're supposed to abide by the 6 feet apart thing. Well, that goes out the window when somebody's shoving something up your nose, right? So I literally I was like, she was about to do it, and I was like freaking out, and I was like, somebody hold my hand. Somebody's gonna have to hold my hand.
Oh my gosh.
And so I grabbed Sarah's hand. She's like, I guess I'll work. I'll grab. Yep, that's fine. The one who did the swabbing, there's two of our coworkers that do it. And anyways, yes, Lena, anxiety through the roof when it comes to, yes. And so I survived it, though. She goes, it's only going to go up about an inch. And I'm like, yeah, but how far is the distance from my eyeball to my nostril? Like a little over an inch, okay?
They can't actually touch your eyeball.
I know, but it's a thought. You never know.
I know it is freaky. It is freaky.
And so she went in, and I'm like, okay, because it tickles at first, and then it goes past the point of comfort and or tickling, and then it's like a burning sensation. Yeah. And she's like, and I'm like, why the hell are you still in there? Get it out. And so Sarah was like, just hang on, because they have to swirl it around 3 to 5 times.
Make sure there's enough boogers on it.
Yes, and then she pulls it out and she looks at it and she was like, we're going to have to do the other nostril. It's too dry. And I'm like, should I blow my nose to make it? And she's like, well, if it gets too wet, we have to do it again as well. And I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me? So then she went in the right nostril, and it was just his most uncomfortable sensation. But guys, we have to do that 2 days a week.
Twice a week
from now on. And I'm like, oh my God.
They had to do mine twice, both times last week.
Oh man.
So,
But now Sarah's screwed because, when it comes to getting lab drawn or, any kind of physical anything that's affecting me, whoever does it, like, that's who I latch on to. And so Sarah's screwed. Like, she has to do my swabs every time I have to get swabbed every week. So, just saying. Yes, I see. The Darkness Tavern is still on the wall.
Yep.
That's okay.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm
right.
excited to get the digital copy of it. Hey, Claire.
Hey, Claire. Welcome. Hi, Dawn. Welcome. Anne, swab them until they tear up is how I hear they do it. Yeah, basically.
Pretty much,
I
yeah.
teared up. I did not sneeze, though. I did not sneeze.
I damn near did the second time.
But, and like I said, it was uncomfortable, but it wasn't, it wasn't painful. It was just super, there's not supposed to be in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah. But anyways, yeah, so that was what,
that's
So I get to
always
look forward
fun.
to that again on Wednesday, so just get it done out of the way, I guess. Mondays and Wednesdays are the 2 days that I'll have to do it. Or,
Yeah.
I guess Friday's an option, but I really want to just get it over with as
Yeah,
quickly
I'll
as
have
possible.
to do it on Wednesdays and Fridays.
There you go. Yeah,
But-
there you go. So, Whew. Anyways, so people, you will notice we have our shirts finally.
Yep.
Which I love them, by the way. They're actually really, really. These shirts are like you could go in any store and buy.
Right.
They're really, really good shirts.
Yeah, they're nice. And this is the special edition one. I'm sorry Ben doesn't have his yet. When he was here for the special episode of IMHO the other night, we forgot to get it to him before he left.
That doesn't surprise me.
But
yeah,
it's got the.
I can't see. I don't know if they can see it. His quote. It's really dark.
Well.
It's back there. Trust me.
It's got the slogan on the back, and it's.
Oh yeah, they can see it. Yeah, shaking hands with the darkness.
Yeah.
That works. So I like the new setup a lot better, Jeremiah. I know, right, Ben? We will get it to you.
Yes, we will
Lena,
get
we
it
will
to
get
you.
you one ordered. Anybody who wants one, let us know.
Well,
speaking of-
these shirts are special edition. We're not making any more of these shirts.
Well, that's true. That's true.
But we will have the regular Darkness Live shirts, and we'll
it say
also be
Darkness
now
Live?
that we have the Darkness Tavern
Oh, hell
logo,
yeah.
we can be working on some Darkness Tavern shirts.
There we
so
go.
that'll be fun.
That was.
If you guys didn't watch, come on board and watch Darkness Tavern the other night, you should be ashamed because that was a blast.
It was
Holy
pretty.
crap, we had so much fun that
there
night.
was some real moments. Oh my god! I don't know that I'll ever go back and rewatch it. Just saying. Stephanie had some mead.
What was it, 5.5 hours?
I don't even know.
We ended up going,
But it just
something
kept
like
going
that.
and going and going, and I don't know how long.
Yeah,
went
it
for,
was
but-
it was pretty amazing
Yeah,
though.
it was.
Amazing time with Lena here in person, live in the studio, doing readings and card pulls for people in the chat, and yeah, it was an absolute blast.
Right.
So yeah.
So what else is going on? How was your Monday?
Well, I mean, we just I rode herd on the little one all day long and tried to get shit done out here, but you know how
That's
that goes
okay.
with her.
It's like,
So-
if you have a toddler, it means you watch the toddler, and that's pretty much what you do.
So, but yeah, I mean, it wasn't a bad day.
Oh, so let's talk real quick. Can we talk about who's on next week? Karen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So next week, guys, we were going to have a gentleman. We have to reschedule him. His name, Larry was going to be on. He makes the tarot deck. I love this tarot deck. But anyways, unfortunately, he got called into work that day, so he had to let us know we have to reschedule, which is totally fine. So then I was like, who should I ask? Who should I ask? And then I was like, oh my God, I want to ask Karen. Karen Goodson, she's a numerologist, and she is just, she's amazing at what she does.
Yeah.
With the numbers, and how much she can tell just off of your name, And I remember when she did the numerology reading for me, it was dead on.
Right.
Dead
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Like living on or whatever. It was correct. So yeah, Anyway, so she's going to be on
Yeah.
next Monday, and then tonight we have Lena.
Lena
is on again
Yeah,
tonight.
I'm really excited.
with
Talk to Lena.
us.
There's no such thing as too much Lena
I
time.
was getting ready to say something almost identical to that. I can never get enough Lena. What can I say? And Lena, your spices are fabulous, and the cocoa was fabulous. Guys, Lena makes all kinds of different spice blends, and she makes a powdered cocoa mix that we all tried, and
It was really
it
good.
was really good. The
Really
kids
good.
enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Sophie, the toddler, enjoyed it.
Yep.
I think it's funny that I say Sophie, the toddler. Sophie enjoyed it, which, guys, by the way, she's starting to tell us, no, you don't do that. No. And it's like, oh, God, here we go. It's not the terrible twos. It's the, oh, my God, I got to
Right.
get to the number 3, age number 3. So, yeah. But, yeah, so like I said, Lena's spice blends and the chili she made was amazing. The pickled onions and cucumbers were
that
amazing.
chili was
the food
pretty
was
near
delicious,
perfect.
and I totally had my cheat day that day, and it was so worth it for my diet. It was my cheat day, and
You know what I would like to do? I think would something I think would be just amazing would be to make using that chili blend.
what, chili dogs?
Make chili with some of our pulled pork.
Ooh, yes.
I think that would be amazing.
That would be amazing. That would be flippin' amazing. Yes. So.
We have something we got to get done tonight.
Oh yes.
We've had the deal going on for about 2 weeks now for our window stickers.
Yay!
And we have the window stickers here ready to go. And we're drawing for 8 of them tonight. And it actually just so happens
This was
that
awesome.
8 people followed the rule just right and got entered in the drawing.
It's true, guys. It's true.
So, I have no idea how to pronounce that name. Maciej Witulski. I'll message you. I'm sorry if I butchered your name.
You probably did, but that's okay. That's okay. When you have a name that's kind of, like, how do you say that? He's probably used to that. Or she, he or she. He?
I don't know.
That person is
Yeah.
probably used to
Yeah.
the not getting the name correct. I
Tiff-
think at some point you would just be like, yeah, I'll just answer, whatever.
Yeah,
Instead of
whatever.
correcting.
Yeah.
We mean well.
Tiffany Whitmer, Max Laird, Debbie Zimmer, Carl, Captain Carl,
Captain Carl.
Barbara Johnson Hindman, Amanda Cole, and Claire Nichols.
Yay!
All got stickers.
Yay! Message us your addresses and we will mail you one. Congratulations. Thank you for participating. I'm sure we'll do that again sometime.
Yep.
We'll do that again
Yeah,
sometime.
we'll get some more stuff
Hey,
like
Claire,
that.
you set your intention. She said, I hope it's me. She
Yep.
got what she wanted.
You got one.
You got one.
You guys all
Tiffany, you got one too.
send don't do it in a public chat or public comment or anything like that. Just private message us your address and we'll get these mailed out to you.
Yes,
they are really cool. They
message
turned out really good.
Yes, message it to the. Well, Carl, we just changed it up for you because you just want a sticker. Yes, you did. So yes, message on the Darkness Life page. Send us a message with your address.
And we'll be sending messages out too, just in case
somebody's not watching.
you guys aren't watching.
Yeah.
One of the winners isn't watching, so
A couple of them are
Yeah.
watching. Yeah, so it'll be good. But anyway, so I say I can't my lisp at the back. I say yes, guys. I had a lisp until I was in 7th grade. I took speech class. Sometimes my tongue gets away from me. Go figure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
so- I know, right? Oh man. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get Lena on because I can't wait to talk to her. We can't ever get enough Lena time.
I know, right?
Yes.
Give me just a quick second here.
Hey, Barbara, you won one too. Congratulations. Yes. Lena, are you
'Cause-
ready? Are you ready, Lena? Hell yeah, Claire. Let's give Lena a ring.
What was that? Okay. So
I do not know. Oh, I better put my ears in, huh? I better put my ears
I
in.
didn't have the number pre-dialed.
Well, alrighty.
All right.
There we go. Ring-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Man, those stickers and shirts turned out really awesome.
Yeah, they did.
Really, really awesome. You did a good job on the logo, honey. I'm proud of you.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I hear a familiar voice. Something is very familiar, but I'm just kidding. I can't hear you. Hang on a second. We're adjusting.
Keep talking, Lena. Lena.
You were about to say linen, weren't you? He was about to say linen. Linen must be on the brain. Speaking of linen, Lena, so today, Lennon, my son, he came to me and he was like, Mom, none of my pants fit. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, I don't know, within the past 3 months, I've bought him new pants, and he has outgrown every single pair. Same with his shoes. He showed me he's growing, man. He showed me his shoes. He's like, Mom, I need new shoes. And I'm like, I just bought you a pair of shoes like 2 months ago. And he's like, they're too tight. And sure enough, he showed me they're too little. So now I'm going to have to, on payday, go get him some pants that fit. Poor kid. And then out of desperation, I was like, try my jeans on, see if they fit you. And he said, they're a little, he said, they fit kind of weird, Mom. But at least he was a trooper. He tried them on.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, guys can wear girl jeans, right? Girls can wear guy jeans. No big deal. I just thought to get him through the day. But he was so adamant that he's like, nope,
no.
He was like, thanks, but I think I'll just wear my shorts.
That's not going to work.
Yeah, it
just didn't. No.
It didn't.
How are you tonight, Lena?
I'm doing great. I had a wonderful weekend.
It was, man. It was like, that was the best time I've had. I mean, the mead helped, and the company helped, and the food was amazing, and I pretty much loved the decorations. I'm a little biased, though. I love Beetlejuice. That means everybody else in the world loves Beetlejuice, too, just so you know. And so, yeah, we decorated Beetlejuice themed. And then it was cool because Jamie showed up dressed up like a Beetlejuice character, which was like, we didn't even communicate that. And there she was, freaked out because I decorated how she dressed up. And yeah, it was awesome. So, yay. So, Lena, for anybody who might be watching who has never, had the pleasure of meeting or talking to you or hearing you, just kind of briefly explain who you are and what you are about or what you do.
Well, I read tarot, and I make oil blends, and for aromatherapy, I don't know, I do a little bit of everything. I'm kind of like a jack of all trades, master of none.
Well, you're pretty damn close to being a master at a lot of those things.
I also, I'm trained to do Reiki. I'm a Reiki master teacher. I have been a certified tarot master for a long time, and like 24 years I've been reading tarot.
Wow.
And so, I just kind of incorporate new things. My main focus is usually on spiritual matters. I like to focus on helping people improve their life and connection with spirit, and that's kind of what I do. And my hobby is spice blends. I love to make spice blends.
Oh my God, they're
because I like food.
They're incredible. Anything you've ever made that I've had the pleasure to eat, oh my God, just delicious. Like, I don't think you could make something, not good, Lena. Like, it's every single thing that I've tried that you've made. I can't get enough of it. Like, I'll eat till I'm stuffed like a turkey. Oh my God.
It's kind of I kind of cheat, I guess, a little bit because, I do know some of the properties of the different kinds of spices and herbs, and part of that came with the experience of learning about, herbology for magical blends, and you guys are kind of into the magic thing, and
yes.
So that certain herbs bring magical qualities or properties to the foods. They also bring some healing qualities, and so knowing that when I make a blend, I put my heart, my emotions into it, and so you're kind of getting that magical effect probably from some of it too. So it's not me, really. It's not something I can take credit for, but maybe another one of those things that spirit and nature have to take care of.
Oh wow! So I got to tell you, so tonight for dinner I made baked potatoes, and before I put the potatoes in the oven, I put some olive oil on them, and then I took your Italian herb blend and I sprinkled that on the outside, and so that is what the potato, the skins tasted like, and oh my God, that was amazing. That was amazing.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is.
The Townsend is one of my favorites. It can go on anything, so.
Oh yeah, man, but yes, that stuff is amazing. That stuff, man, when we got the first packet we got from you, it was gone pretty damn fast. And now, I'm so excited you restocked our pantry with all of your amazing spices. And I know they're not going to last forever, so we're just going to start buying them because I need my endless supply of Townsend. And was it called Going Home, the Italian blend? Is that what it's called?
Yes. Well, Going Home is just the name that I do my spices under.
Okay.
If I ever do start it as my business, it will be called Going Home, the business itself.
I love it. I love it.
The reason why is because I like to have foods and things that remind us of traditions.
Yes.
And so I kind of made this joke about how when we're eating good food, it's like going home.
It is. It so is. Home is not a place. Home is, the people that make up that place. And, I wish everybody understood that home isn't necessarily a house. It's who fills the home. You know what I mean?
I have to laugh because I just saw this message from Carl come across that says Lena's a little hot.
Well, he's not wrong.
I understood what he meant. He was talking about the microphone channel I had you running through, but I guess you were being kind of crackly going out into Facebook land. But so.
I kind of figured that's what it was, but you got to take credit where you can.
Oh my gosh. Hey.
Bless his heart. We love Carl.
We love the good captain.
Yep.
I just feel like I have to say the good captain every time, like the good captain.
Captain Carl.
At least I'm
Captain
not saying
Carl to the rescue.
Yes.
He's my.
Because
Go ahead.
When you guys call him that, I automatically think of Captain Caveman.
Oh man. Oh
That's
man.
funny.
So Lena, I have to tell you that we decided we're going with your costume suggestion for our toddler, the Raggedy Ann, the Annabelle Raggedy Ann for Halloween. I really hope that people still hand out candy. Are you going to hand out candy?
Well, I'm going to be reading that day, so I'm not going to get that opportunity.
That's true. Well, I sure hope that people around here, I have a feeling where we live, like, people will hand out candy.
Yeah.
It's a pretty small town, so we don't have much Rona around here.
Right,
well,
right.
we probably do. It's everywhere.
Yeah, well, I mean, the county we live in doesn't even have a mask mandate, so.
Lou LaRoe, 2004. Let's see. She asked where we are from. We are in the great state of Kansas.
Yep.
We live in Kansas. It's outside Wichita, so that's where we're at. Let's see. She has a question. Is that a question? Dr. Lena, that job do you do?
I think she's asking what job do you do?
Yes. One of the people watching, yes.
What jobs do I do?
Yes, She wants to know, or he, I'm not sure. What job do you do? That's what the viewer is wanting to know. I think they chimed in after you answered that already.
So I read tarot, and I do a lot of readings that include channeling and things like that with my guide. I have different types of readings that I offer. I can read with pretty much anything, dice, dominoes, toothpicks, so basically just psychic readings. I try to avoid too much about the future because I think it's too changeable.
Yeah.
I will tell you if it shows something that's showing the future, but you make your own choices, so you kind of design that so it can change.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I do, I also, I really enjoy, teaching classes and things like that on psychic development. I teach about tarot. I also teach Reiki, those types of things.
Okay, yes, and you're amazing at all of the above, man. All the above. What's your
Thank
favorite?
you.
I gotta ask, what's your favorite? Making the spices, doing the readings, Reiki, what's your favorite?
Honestly, I really love reading. It gives me a sense of peace and a connection with spirit. So that's probably my favorite. Next would be my spices, of course, and then I also do oils and sprays with essential oils. I make them for different purposes. Some of them are kind of personal, and I usually try to tailor those based on what my guide tells me to use in the oils. For instance, she might give me a specific blend that would be, something good for a person's sign or for their, maybe what they're needing in their life at that time. And so if I'm doing an oil blend for someone, I'll trust whatever she tells me to put in it.
Okay.
And it usually turns out really good.
Oh, I have no doubt, man. Has she ever steered you wrong that you can recall?
Not that I can recall. I know there's been times that I kind of ignored her and learned that lesson the hard way that was not a good plan.
So, do you ever, is she constantly with you? Or do you ever just say, hey, I need a few minutes to myself here?
I'm sorry, ask me again.
I
so
said,
sorry.
when it comes to your spirit guide, that wonderful person she is that better? Maybe? Is that better?
I got distracted. I apologize.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I'm rubbing off on you, Lena. Anyways, so my question was, when it comes to your spirit guide, do you ever just tell her, hey, I need an hour, just leave me alone, give me some time to myself, or is she with you constantly?
Honestly, I think she's always there. I just don't always hear. There's times when I'm not feeling well that she will absolutely not respond to me.
Okay.
And I think it's because she thinks that I need to rest that day. And there's been times if I was, sick for a couple of days, I would feel like she disappeared. I felt so alone. And it kind of freaks me out when that happens, but I also know that once I get back to that zone where I'm feeling good and I'm okay, she's very present. I can sense her presence. I know she's there the whole time, but I hear her again.
Right.
Is that making sense?
Yeah. So when you interact with her, do you just have a conversation she can read your mind or what you're saying, or do you actually talk out loud when you're speaking with her, or both?
Both. Sometimes I say things out loud that I don't mean to. She will, it's funny because I'll be sitting with someone and all of a sudden she'll start talking and I'll just respond to her and people look at me like, what are you talking about? Or they'll even ask me, I'll be like, who is that? And this person will be like, who's who? I'm like, sorry. So.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it.
That's awesome.
You're walking down the street and you're talking to yourself. People are kind of like, okay, what's up with her?
Right. Right.
But I'm okay with that because, it is truly a part of me. She's a part of me. Everything that I need an answer for, she pretty much helps me get. So that's awesome to me.
Yeah, that is really cool. And, I have to say, of course, my experience with getting information or messages from my guides is very different than what I've heard you describe. Kind of your experiences with it, but I have to say, I've never.
Oh, I have to tell Lena a story in a second. Go ahead.
I've never gotten a message from from your guide through you that was even remotely wrong. It's always like, damn it, it's like, why you gotta call me out? Why you?
Right.
I thought I was doing good. I thought we were doing good here. Why you gotta call me out? It's always something that but it's always something that I need to hear.
Right. Right. Of course.
It just is.
Oh my gosh. So Lena, do you remember? This is really, really wild. Do you remember when after the show Saturday night, we were sitting in the car or you were sitting in your truck and, we were talking about, Kathy and stuff like that. And then I asked you about a specific, I was like, does the name blah, blah, blah ring a bell? And you were like, no. Do you remember that part of the conversation?
I do.
So get this. So, yesterday, lady reached out to me and we were talking and I can't believe this. So she was asking me if I felt like there was a specific spirit that hangs out in their house, her and her husband's house. And because she says, like certain things happen at certain times that I'm like, well, I don't know, but I feel like probably that individual's there. And she's like, are you getting any names or, can you describe? And so I see this flash of this person in my head, but the dream that I had the night before was, I don't know. I was conflicted about the name thing because I couldn't differentiate between the names that popped in my head from the dream I had the night before and the story she's telling me about this spirit that they knew the kid and he died years ago, whatever. Well, kind of interesting because I'm like, when she's asking me, like I'm seeing a picture of this guy in my mind. And so I'm like, shit, screw it. I'll just type out what I'm seeing. Who knows? I don't know if I'm right or not, but whatever. So I typed out a description of what this individual looked like. And she's like, are you picking up on a name? And I was like, well, I said, and I said, well, here's the deal. I said, these two names come to mind. I said, but I got to warn you, I had this very, very vivid dream last night. And so I don't know if those two names are from that dream or if one of these names is possibly referring to the guy you're talking about. I shit you not. I told her the two names and she said, no, that's not it. His name is blah, blah, blah. And Lena, the name that I told you the night before when I asked you if that was if that individual was also around or whatever, if it meant something to you, and you said no, it was the spirit that she was talking about that's in her house or whatever, that was his name, which I find really interesting. And she told me that, and then I was like, oh my God. I said I was literally having a conversation with a friend, and that name popped in my head yesterday, and now it makes sense, right? And then I shit you not, the picture, what I described the guy looking like that I saw in my head, she sent me a picture of him, and it matched exactly what I was seeing in my head. And what's really weird about it, Lena, was the day that you and I, so Sunday, because we were talking at like 3 a.m, 2:45 Sunday morning, right? Well, when I had mentioned his name popped in my head. So Sunday, that was his birthday. And I find that very interesting that this random name and this, do what?
That's usually how it works.
I know, right? But I was just like kind of mind blown because I'm like, oh my God, like, and I like saw this image of this guy in my head, and then when we were talking, that name came up, but it didn't mean anything to you. But then later in that day, it's like this girl is we're having the conversation, and she tells me the exact name that I told you, and then I'm describing exactly what he looked like, and she sent me his picture after I described him, and it matched, Lena. Even like the height, like I was like, I feel like he's like between 5'8" and 6 foot, something like that, 6'1" maybe, and it was spot on. Like it blew my mind.
That's wonderful. See, that tells me that I'm probably pretty accurate in saying that you need to work on those mediumship gifts.
I know, right? But the thing about it, and so that makes me think like, like when I hear other names or I see images of other people that I don't know, it makes me wonder if it's like, okay, like if I'm talking to somebody, it's like, I'm not losing it here. Like there is a spirit somewhere that it looks just like how I'm picturing it, but it might not be pertaining to the person I'm talking to. You know what I mean? So it's hard to figure out and decipher like what this information is supposed to be used for, because as well as I do, unless you have validation, you have no idea if you're correct.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. There's no possible way for us to know unless they come back and tell us.
Exactly.
And, we need that, because if we don't have that validation, we're going to believe we're as crazy as people might think we are.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Oh, I can be crazy sometimes.
Yeah, I have to, and this is one of my favorite stories from reading at fairs and stuff like that. We had this. We were set up at a fair in St. Louis, the first St. Louis fair we went to, mm-hmm. and there was a guy came up to the booth, paid for a reading up front, and sat down at the table with me, and I mean.
One word, stoic.
I'll be honest, Lena. He had so many walls and so many shields up around him. All I could do was, I wasn't getting, because I'm empathic, and so I a lot of times I rely on that empathic input. Mm-hmm. But man, I had to go way out on a limb with all of my intuition plus the runes and everything with that reading, and I honestly, I was like, I don't know if this guy's going to get anything from this or not.
And he gave no feedback, no facial expression.
Whatsoever. He sat there with sunglasses on the whole time.
Crossed his arms the whole time.
And was completely 100% stoic and shielded the whole time. And so then...
Those kind of people, when they're doing that, they're testing, they're very skeptical, they're testing mm-hmm. or whatever. Mm-hmm. And... it kind of sucks, because if you're going to go to a reader, go with an open mind, go relaxed, because the more open you are, then they can have an opportunity to give you a true reading. They're not having to stretch themselves to the point of, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm freaking out, so I can't do it. Because there are a lot of readers who, do have that insecurity in themselves, and, mm-hmm. They're very gifted readers, but they kind of shut down with people like that.
Right.
It's like, I'm real honest. I feel like I can't get a good connection with somebody, I'll tell them, dude, I can't read for you. You need to move on.
But I'm nice
about it.
Right. Yeah.
I'm nice about it. But the fact is, if they don't want me to read them, why do they come to me?
Right. Exactly.
If you want me to read you, come to me with an open mind. I'll tell you what I see, whether it's good or bad, and you do with it what you will. But, why do you want to, why would you want to block it if you're coming to me for guidance?
Well, especially paying, paying for that guidance.
People who are coming, yeah, right, exactly. And the people who are coming to you just to, test you or whatever so they can prove you wrong, that's just a reflection of their character.
Right.
And
well, so this guy, there was something there. I kept going with the reading because, there was something there in the energy that was telling me that this guy needed to hear what was going to be said. But, I just, I thought I was, just pulling shit out of my ass, but, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, after that reading, he was like, I have no idea how that went. I was getting no feedback, nothing, and he barely even said, he paid you, and then, did he even say anything?
Yeah, so what happened was he said, he shook my hand, said, thank you. He got up and walked away. About a half hour later, he comes back and he starts telling me some of the stuff that's been going on with him a little bit. And it matched everything I told him spot on. Mm-hmm. And it was, and everything that he heard was stuff that he needed to hear. Mm-hmm. And then
Right.
the next,
That
what
was
was
so
it?
cool.
Like 6 months later,
That
roughly,
was so cool.
we were at the second St. Louis Fair last year that we did, and this guy walks up to the booth, and Lena, I didn't recognize him. His energy was completely different. I would have been thrown off, even if he was dressed completely the same with the sunglasses and the whole 9 yards. I still wouldn't have recognized him because his energy was completely changed. He had an upbeat, positive vibe about him at this, at this fair, and he was happy. He had a smile on his face. He wasn't stoic, and he was. And
He didn't seem as angry.
no, he wasn't.
Because before, my God, he was
he was
angry, like
insanely angry before. And so I got the chance to sit and talk with him just a little bit. And I don't remember if he got another reading or not. Did he?
He did.
So but I guess during the reading, I got the chance to sit and talk with him a little bit, and it was completely. He said. That first time that he got the reading from me, it was like a turning point for him, and he had suspicions about stuff that he needed to do, stuff that he needed to let go of, but hearing someone else say it just kind of set him in motion. And he said he's in a completely different spot now than he had been before, and hadn't been in trouble with the law and, all this kind of stuff that was just amazing. Just amazing to hear.
It was really cool. And,
So
yes.
I think I've only had 2 people. I was trying to think, too, like how many people have I actually not been able to connect to or read for? And to be honest, I think there's only been 2. One of them, I straight up told her I couldn't read for her because my guide said, you can't read for her. And I was like, why not? And she said it's a conflict of interest.
Oh.
Well, I didn't know what that meant, but later I found out that I was reading for her boyfriend's woman.
Oh.
And,
oh, shit.
So, yeah.
That threw a
would've been
monkey
fun
wrench
party.
in there.
Yeah. So reading for both his women might have
Go.
not been a good thing.
It's getting exciting.
And the other one, I couldn't read for him because he was just completely obnoxious. And I know he was just testing me.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he made it very clear it didn't matter what I said, he was going to say it was wrong.
Oh, wow.
And
that's a shame.
I later found out a lot of the stuff I told him was very true. But,
of course it was.
Right.
I just, at that point I told myself I won't read for him anymore because he was just so blatantly rude.
That's just
he
tacky.
made comments that were very, condescending and very insulting to me as a person, and I tend to be a kind person. Like, I don't do that to people.
Right,
so
right.
It's very hurtful to me. And so I was just like, I can't do that. And I'm not going to put myself in that position. But I've never had really any others. The only other lady that I had trouble connecting with was at a fair one time. And she tried to tell me that she wasn't cheating on her husband. And she was very insistent. And so I offered to give her her money back. But,
she was cheating. She was cheating.
Yeah, I wanted to refund her money, or I offered because she was like, no. I said, well, I can, maybe redo the reading in a more private setting. Maybe we can get something more accurate, because she was very insistent that I was wrong.
Oh my God.
But
she was in denial.
She was cheating.
You can't ever lie to a psychic. No, you can't ever lie to Lena. So, Lena, I just got to say, Jeremiah, what's up with people who cheat? It's like, man, I don't know how people handle, one female, let alone more than one female. Like, it makes no sense to me. I don't understand it.
Don't ask me.
Well, and the crazy thing is, like, it's going to show up. If you're doing something, it's going to show up in your life. I had a friend who, bless his heart, he had addiction issues, and he kept, talking about how he was getting clean. And then he's like, Lena, can you read me? And I read them, and it totally told on him. And I'm like, dude. But, at the same time, I was very much there for him and supportive in trying to help him get back on the right track. And, he definitely has worked very hard, and he's, done a really great job. So I got to give him credit for that. But
that's good.
There's times that things come up in our readings that we just don't want to face either.
Yeah.
That's part of that, as you guys call it shadow work, I call it soul work, but it's the same thing. And when it's time, it's going to come whether we want it or not.
Oh,
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's preparing you for something.
Don't think I haven't done my share of it,
Oh, I'm sure you have.
I get it all the time. Like, I go through different learning phases still. I still learn something new every single day, and that's a huge importance to me.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine going through a day without learning something.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I can't remember that there was I want to say this was like back in the mid to late 80s. There was some, not that I've ever really been into professional sports at all, but there was some pro athlete that said something that I can't remember who it was, but it really resonated with me. I was in, I think, my senior year in high school at the time, or junior or senior year. Must have been junior year, if in the late 80s. But he said, when a person ceases to learn, they cease to live.
Yeah.
That just really resonated with me, and I've never forgotten that.
Well, and, I constantly remind people, too, we're not put on this earth to just exist. We're put here to live.
Yeah.
And, we have to live, to the best of our abilities to the fullest. And, I think we sometimes forget that because we get so caught up in the physical and the this plane or whatever, and the crazy chaos of the world around us, the society and the communities and the government and all those things. And so we forget to just be who we are and live it fully.
Right.
And I think that's important, it's so important.
Right. Oh, yeah, knowledge is power, man. And people are afraid of the unknown. Not knowing is very scary. At least, when you understand and learn something, it sheds some light on the subject.
Right.
People would rather avoid.
Think about how much we can learn from traditions and from people who have lived, like the experiences that they have. I mean, some of my best readings come from people who have had, a long life and lived so many different types of energy during their life. Maybe they've done different jobs or they've had different people that they connected to. It's just beautiful, and it's so much to learn from.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a traditions girl, though, so I'm kind of old school
Me
like
too.
Yeah.
So am I. Speaking of traditions, I joke. Oh, go ahead.
I dream about the 1800s, I dream about what it was like in the 1800s because my guide lived back then, and so she shows me things from back then. And for me, those things are like, wow, this is what I have to learn,
Mm-hmm.
That probably, in that time frame, you probably really feel at home.
I feel very, it kind of depends on what we're looking at, some of the history kind of sucks, but there's things that are truly important, like, they survived things that we couldn't even fathom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now. Like, they weren't softened by, having the luxuries that we have now. And so they truly got out there and connected with nature and got their hands dirty and worked hard. And, there's a lot to be said for that,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We also didn't have the interference of all the, I say we like I was there. I probably was. But we didn't have the electronics and things like that interfered. Like every single thing that we have in our home puts off some sort of energy field, and back then they didn't have all those electronics to add to that. Like, So it was just a more simple, basic energy. It was about getting back to the basics of life, and so for me, that's truly important. And I think that's why I love working with the herbs and the spices and the cooking, and I have old kerosene lanterns, and I kind of love that lifestyle.
Oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Simple is, simplicity. I think that simple a lot of times goes unappreciated. A lot of people think, more and more and more, bigger and better is the way to be. And in reality, I disagree. I think, a lot of times the simpler the better.
Agreed. I just read this message about, it says, Dad's Book of Useless Facts.
That's my oldest daughter keeps she's been telling me for about 10 years now that I need to write that I need to write a book called Dad's Book of Useless Facts.
So, Lena,
it's funny because
that's great.
I can visualize that, actually.
I know, right? And I can picture Jeremiah's like on the cover of it with a cup of coffee in one hand and a cigarette in the other. Can't you picture it?
Somewhere there's a beer in the background.
Yes. Would you have a robe on or no robe?
I don't do robes.
Well, I know you don't do robes, but it would be, it would add to the.
No, I might do like a funky tongue-in-cheek smoking jacket or something.
There we go. Just get yourself a. Oh my God, what's his name? Lena, what's the Playboy guy's name?
Hefner?
Yep, just get yourself a Hugh Hefner smoking jacket. Have it be burgundy and velvet. Get yourself a big round gold velvet bed and like sprawl out on it with your cigarette in one hand and Lena, my dad had all growing up in the basement of the house because I was in the same house from the day I was born until after I was, gone. They finally moved or whatever. But my dad, I shit you not, in the basement had a king size gold velvet round bed, and the headboard was gold velvet. And no, it did not spin. But what was funny was as I got older, I started to question my dad, like, Dad, why did you have a gold velvet round bed? And then I think I was probably like, like late teens. And I finally asked him, I'm like, what kind of a person were you before I was born? Because I can't imagine, like just thinking about this gold velvet round bed. I mean, you know what? And then I was like, you know what? I don't even want to know. I don't need to know. That is before my time. I just don't even need to know.
I remember a time when I was pretty young. I was probably like 8 or 9 years old, and my dad had one of those great big giant round beds too. I was like, wow. And
there was like one set of sheets too. They were like this really, real like 70s brown with, and they were like silhouettes of the real, remember like back when they were like macrame was a thing and like the owls people would make, it had like those owls all over it, like the silhouette owls. And yeah, there was only one sheet set. And anyways, I don't know whatever happened to that big old bed, but I'm like, man, that would have been so cool to hang on to, Oh my God. So Lena, I want to get down to, I have a question for you. So when you got into tarot, your tarot deck that you use currently, first part of the question, how long have you been using it? And second part of the question, was it gifted to you or did you pick it out and you were drawn to it?
Okay, so the deck that I have currently that I use, this particular deck is probably about 2 years old.
Oh, wow. So, okay.
Maybe 3. But I've always used the same brand or type of card with my clients. My very first deck of tarot cards was the Morgan Greer, and I chose them myself, but my husband bought them for me for my birthday. So actually, as of today, I have officially been a tarot reader for 25 years.
Oh,
Wow.
That's a mile marker, man. That's awesome. Oh my God, that is so cool.
Kind of crazy, right?
Yes. So can you a little bit go through, so like if somebody was to go to Peaceful Whispers, your page, and they're going to see your different readings you offer, is there kind of like if somebody's wanting to know about romance, you might offer this kind of a reading? Or if somebody's wanting to know about life path, you would offer a different type of reading? Or does it not matter? It's literally just more cards, the bigger the reading?
Okay, so my star reading, I call it a star reading, but I actually lay out a circle. But the reason it's called a star is because I read it in a star pattern.
Okay.
And it takes about 30 minutes. That one it covers all different kinds of areas of your life, like love life, finances, health, romance, whatever. I said love life, physical body, spirituality, those types of things.
Okay.
If you do the full circle reading, it is still that circle, but I read all the cards and the way they interact with each other and the star pattern all in one. And I also get more messages from my guide because it allows more time.
Okay. How long is that one
basically
approximately?
the same as the first one,
Okay.
but it allows more time.
Okay. So when you go to do a reading for anybody, regardless if it's the star reading or the full circle, when you lay out your cards, do you instantly pick up on the general coloring of the cards first, or do you pick up like what?
I always look at the overall colors of the cards first.
That's kind of what I was wondering.
To
Okay.
see what jumps out at me.
Okay.
I also look at the numbers that are present, whether there's a bunch of major arcana cards or whether they're just the minor arcana. But I started out reading prior to the tarot with a
Playing cards.
So you can read with pretty much anything.
Yeah.
But with the tarot, I discovered that they could see the images on the cards and really get a better understanding of what I was getting or seeing. I use, for my relationship spread, like I have a relationship spread that I do, so that's a little different. It covers like two people and their interaction together.
Okay.
I also have a couples reading where I kind of read a little mini reading for each person in the relationship, and then they're reading together.
Oh, we've had that reading before.
Yeah.
We've had every single one of
Right,
those
and I-
readings, I think, that you've listed.
I do also offer different types of readings, like specialty types, like a past life reading, for instance. But my past life reading is not like past life regression. It's actually just, I do it with the cards, and it covers the 3 lifetimes that are most influential in your life now. Now, if you come to me and you want a past life reading and you don't actually have a past life, which some people don't, then it will talk about things that you need to know about this lifetime that are very spiritually inclined. But we usually get that right away, and then I just charge them a regular reading price instead of a past life price. I've only had that happen twice.
Jeremiah, that's what I want for our anniversary. I want a past life reading for Lena.
All right.
I've gotten, in a couple of readings I've gotten, they've touched on, past lives of mine, which doesn't surprise me what they said, what they both, 2 separate people have said, 2 separate fairs, mind you. However, I would be very curious to hear what you say. And then in talking about past lives, so I have a very specific question, Lena. So because you are Christian, you make no bones about the fact you're Christian, correct?
I have no problem admitting I'm a Christian.
I just wanted to, yes, I didn't think that you did. And so what would you say, so if somebody says, oh, that's not a thing, past lives are not a thing. So how do you respond to somebody who says that? Because I personally do believe in past lives.
Mm-hmm.
I have no doubt Like, I'm convinced, Lena, since I don't know how old, I'm convinced I was like born in like the, I don't know, late 50s, early 60s, and I died young and I came back in when I was born. Like, I'm convinced of it. I am too drawn to that era of time for it to not be a thing. Like, I've felt that way since I was little. You know, and and that'll come out, you know, I'm sure when we do our reading. I'm so excited about. Don't give me any details, but yeah, I was just curious.
Like, when you do a past life reading, they actually, like with me, the way I do them is that we want to focus on the lifetimes that influence this lifetime. So, you know, what is the connection between this and that lifetime? As a Christian, I didn't believe in past lives. And so when my guide told me to do a past life reading, I was like, what?
Right. Right.
What?
Then the way she described it to me, which I can't give you word for word what it was because it's been a while ago.
Right.
But the way it came across to me, my understanding of it became that not necessarily for me was it that I was living in this lifetime and not going to heaven. It was that I went connected. My energy was connected, and I started thinking about that, like overall, like when we're in spirit, we're still very much connected. Like our energy is always going to be there. It's like always a part of who we are. It lives on. It exists, and so we're connecting to those energies of those past people.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. It does. It does. So.
And mine, I don't require I don't do any kind of hypnosis, like past life regression. Hypnosis is like, it freaks me out. That's all there is to it.
Right.
I mean, I'm trained to do it, but it freaks me out because I'm afraid I'm going to trigger somebody's like really bad traumas and throw them into some craziness. And I can't, I'm not a therapist, so I can't, I can't help with that. So I don't want to do hypnosis. So my past life readings are strictly based on, what energy you're putting off and reading that energy.
Right.
And what energies you might have been connected to in the past. Now, whether that was your physical body or not, doesn't matter to me. You had some past life connection.
Okay.
If you have a past life connection, it's going to show up. Now, I have had people who didn't have that, who were very new to this earth. And I got to tell you, they are the most fun, loving, outgoing, but they can be so scattered and so ADHD and so...
You're describing me, Lena.
Well, they think that the world kind of owes them things. Well, and I don't think they see it that way. It's more of an innocent point of view. Like, they know there's enough of everything in the world for everybody, so they just think it should happen. And, they absolutely have this beautiful gift for whatever they wish for, they're going to get it. It's coming, and they know it, so they just get it.
Oh, wow. So do you think that... So one of the readings I got, the way that it worked, and the past life stuff came up in the reading, but the way the individual described it to me was picture all of your lifetimes in a spiral. And when you are in one of your lives that is like spiraled around back, overshadowing the current one, like, do you think that that's a thing? Like, do you think that like memories or, lessons or whatnot is bleeding into the current one? If you're in a mirror one, parallel maybe, or whatever? I don't remember the word he used, but basically like in that spiral of different lifetimes, when you come back around and you're parallel with a past life, in the spiral of lifetimes or whatever, like, do you think that's a thing or not really? Am I making sense?
Absolutely. I have to be real about it. Like, there's no way I could say that's not something that's real, because I'll be real with you. I woke up and just knew how to build an earthen oven,
Whoa.
I don't know why I knew how to do that. I know how to dig an ice house and build an ice house. I've never done that in this lifetime, but I can tell you step for step how to do it because I evidently have done it before. I saw myself. And weirdly enough, like, I even saw my husband in this dream that I had, my husband was with me, my current husband.
Oh.
And I looked over and had a sense of knowing that it was him and watched him dig right beside me. We were digging together.
Wow. That would be so cool. Like I have, Lena, like I have, okay, so yeah, when it comes to that, like certain souls, find each other in multiple lifetimes, right? Like I believe that.
Yeah.
Right. And I woke up one day and I had this very vivid dream about making this very specific kind of bread from scratch, like from start to finish. I later found out that that's often called Amish friendship bread. And that the sourdough breads are made the same. But I had never done it before, so why did I wake up just knowing how?
That's really interesting.
Wow.
I have I've had stuff like that happen to me before as well. Not necessarily in dreams, because I typically actually don't remember my dreams.
When you do, they're really bad dreams.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
My dream life hasn't been real pivotal in my walk or my path. I'm sure one of these days it will, but back to the point. I've actually had moments where I just kind of it's almost like I go into a trance, and I'm like living a day from a past life.
Yes, I do that too,
And
especially in the shower.
And so, but it's like I'm
seriously. That's why Jeremiah's always like, I don't know how you spend 40 minutes in the shower, and half the time I don't even realize.
Literally 40 minutes in the shower. That's not the rest of the time in the bathroom.
Well, no,
40 minutes in the shower.
But Lena, I swear to God, like I lose sense of time when I'm taking a shower. Like it's the most bizarre thing. And half the time when I'm in the shower, I'll just be literally like standing there, with the hot water or whatever, and just like daydreaming or like having this memory or this premonition or what. I don't know what the connection is with the water and that losing the awareness of how much time has passed. But that's a real thing for me in the shower.
Yeah.
It's so odd.
You're a fire. You're a fire. You're spongy, so the water's going to help that flow easier for you.
Oh, that makes sense.
But
That makes a lot of sense.
Like, the interesting thing is literally, like, not all of my dreams are like sleep dreams. Like some of them are like visions.
Oh yeah.
But when you say the word visions to people, they kind of go, "Yeah, right."
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
But that's how it happens. Like it just comes to us. Like I will sometimes be. I'll sit across the table sometimes, and my daughter's like, "Mom, why are you staring at me?" And I'm like, "I wasn't."
Yes.
But I guess I was.
Yes. It is. It's crazy how that happens.
The kind of going back to one of your experiences, what you just talked about with the Amish friendship bread, Lena. I remember this one specific time that happened to me. I was I could see myself. I could see myself, and I all of a sudden I just had this awareness of this horrid stench, and I'm like, what the hell is that smell? And it all of a sudden it dawned on me. I thought, that's urine. Did I pee myself? What the hell is going on?
Oh my God!
And
really?
I look down, and my hands are soaking wet, and I've got some kind of I know what it was now, but at the time I didn't realize what it was. But I've got some kind of
was it your compost?
A fabric or something that I'm dipping in this water that just
it must have been the compost
liquid that was just it smelled horribly like urine. And so I'm like, what the? I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, what the hell was that? What was I doing?
Was it a litter box?
And so I started doing research, and that's how they used to tan hides.
Wow.
Yes.
I had no idea about that, but that's how they would use human urine, to tan hides.
Really?
Yes.
So
the ammonia in it.
I bet you're also good. Are you good with crafting with leather then?
Oh yeah.
You're very drawn to leather. He's very good at it too.
I love crafting leather.
Very, very good at it.
See, well, that's probably a past life connection for you, Jeremiah.
Oh, wow.
So it just, yeah. it blew me away because I literally had no idea that used to be a thing. I knew a little bit about how they tan leather now, but I didn't know what the old school way, before the modern equipment and chemicals was.
Right? So, Lena, this is interesting, but so I've always not been a fan of snakes, right? Like always. Well, one of the readings I got that was a past life in relation to past life reading, the individual was like, in a past life you were like a snake charmer and then one ate you. And I'm like, oh shit. So that would kind of maybe explain why I'm not a fan of snakes. One ate me.
Ate you?
Right, and that would be very likely that, you would not recognize that as a past life connection, but you would feel that fear in this lifetime.
Yes.
Sure.
Man, I must have had died a lot of horrible ways because I have a lot of what am I not no real cause for all of the fears that I have.
Right. I have a huge paranoia about house fires, and I'm absolutely sure that at one point I was in a major house fire in a past life.
Probably. You probably maybe died in one, or your family died in one or something. But, speaking of, so I have a question for you. So, I want to say something and then I have a question. So one thing I've noticed is that, my son, okay, anytime we have any of our rituals or, our things that we practice, whatever, he's always been very standoffish. I mean, he'll participate, and we've never, forced the kids to participate in what we do, but, I mean, we encourage them, because that's what we're doing in our house, and if you grew up, your parents went to church, you went to church with them, right? And there was no questions about it. And so, Jeremiah and I are kind of well, when we do our rituals and stuff, just out of respect, please, at least if you're not gonna, at least be present. You don't have to participate, but at least be present when we're doing this stuff, right? Out of respect for the dead, basically. And so, but what's interesting is that here my son that is very, very skeptical. Okay, mind you, his dad is a nihilist, so that kind of, he's got one extreme and then the other extreme at our house. He, out of the blue, he said, Mom, he says, ever since you and Dad have gotten together, he says, I have deja vu all the time. And I'm like, really? Lennon said that. And I'm like, that's interesting. And what's very interesting is all four of the kids, older kids, they experience deja vu frequently. And you can tell it's an authentic moment when it happens to them, Lena, because they have this look on their face this is familiar, this has happened before. What do you make of that?
Well, deja vu is usually tied to, visions that we're having premonitions about. Most of the time it's things that we see before they happen through maybe a dream or a vision. And then when it happens, it's that intense feeling of, whoa, I've done this before.
Okay.
And you sometimes will feel some anxiety around it, I have to change this because you don't know what the outcome's going to be.
Okay. Well, there you go. That makes sense. But yeah, it was just it really caught me off guard that he said that, because of all of the kids, he was the least suspecting one that he would even acknowledge that deja vu might be a thing, So shit, what was I gonna ask you? Man, I knew I should have wrote it down. I can't remember what I was wanted to ask you before I told you about Lennon. I don't know. Well, it'll come back to me. That's how that always works. It's I'll forget, and then we'll be talking about something else, and it'll pop in my head. Oh yeah, that's what it was. So just give it time, Lena. It'll come back to me. So do you have one moment, not giving away any names, but do you have a moment that you had one client that still to this day sticks out to you with how you help them, or their reading, or they got insight about something?
There's been many, not one specific more than any others. To be honest, I feel there's so many that have come back to me, and I think they teach me as much as I teach them.
Right.
And I can't say that there's one more than others, because they're all important to me. Even the smallest reading, A person who asks one question can sometimes have a huge impact on me because maybe they're asking something that I needed to learn at that time too.
Right.
I feel like, the increase in energy, that I feel around people, it comes from spirit, and so, I don't have to drain their energy. Now, there have been some people that I felt, were very much like energy vampires.
Oh, yes.
And they come along and they just kind of, they suck off your energy, and then they try to use it for their own benefit. And that's not, that definitely stands out to me. But that's not a positive,
No.
The positive one, there's been so many that, because truly I don't think most people, are bad inside. I think they just have things that they have to work through, or, and they feel like bad, like they're bad, or they feel like they haven't done something right, or they feel like they're failing. And a lot of that comes from the influences of others around them, not necessarily who they are.
That was really well
sense?
put. Yeah, that was perfect. That was really well put, by the way. That's interesting. Well, I have no doubt in my mind that I can't say every single person, but I would venture to guess probably 99.9% of people that you've come into their life. Number one, there's a reason for it. Number two, you probably have no idea the magnitude of impact you have on every single person that comes into your life.
Well, it's not me. To be honest, the only reason I ended up doing this, I really truly believe the only reason I do this publicly is because, because people come to me and ask.
Yes.
Because Spirit has a plan for everybody and for everything, and we're all given different gifts or different talents. I think everyone is born with intuitive qualities, very strong psychic abilities, and we just don't embrace all of it. And I think, everybody has the opportunity to do what I do. And so it's not, I'm not a special person, maybe a little special in the crazy department, but not, not special by any means. I can only give that credit.
I know a lot of people that would beg to differ with that, Lena. I'm one of them, so.
Well, I feel that way about you. I remember the first time when I was invited to, actually when I was invited to the KC Metaphysical Fair to be a reader there, I actually asked them, I honest to goodness said to them, "Are you sure?" Because those people who read there, I saw them as mentors, as, leaders in that field. And I looked up to them and believed in what they did. And, I never thought I would fit in that category. Like, I didn't put myself there. And they were so gifted and so talented. And I honestly believe KC Metaphysical, they go through a screening process. They check you out before they put you in there. They're not going to put you in there if they don't feel right. If you don't fit, they're not going to put you in there. So I'm very honored that they asked me, and I'm honored that I've been able to work with them the last 8 years.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Or something like I think it's been almost 8 years now. But to be honest, I accidentally read for the person who, prior to them asking me, I just happened to be in a place and I had my cards out, and she's like, "Oh, you do readings?" And I'm like, "Yeah. Did you want me to read for you?" And it was just kind of an interaction, and I read for her, and I guess she really liked her reading because she asked me to join the fair after that.
Funny story about her. Because I'm pretty sure I know which one it is that you're talking about. And because when I first met her, when Jeremiah and I were there and I first met her, I was like, "So, do you do readings, or what do you?" She says, "Yeah, I do. I can do like animal readings." And I'm like, "Well, what's that?" So she went and got her deck and she just said, "I'm just going to pull 2 cards for you." And I'm like, "Okay." Well, the two animals that she pulled was a goat and a chicken. And immediately, first thing she said, she goes, "You have issues with blood sugar." And I was like, "What?" She was like, "Typically, you know, when the chicken card, because they, you know, they hunt and peck constantly, right?" And she's like, "You need to be better about snacking during the day." And I'm like, "How the hell did you know that? Like, what?"
Well, actually, funny, it's not that one that I was reading for.
Oh, it was the other one.
It was the other one. And I guess they are very particular.
Oh, yeah.
About
Yeah.
readings. And so it was just a weird coincidence that I happened to read for that person. And I'm very honored that they added me in. But to be honest, I think there's so many brilliant psychics out there and people who have this ability and they have this gift, and I count myself lucky to be able to work with them,
Right.
to be able to share with them, and I hope that people will take time to get to know a variety of psychics and readers, because we all pick up on different things, we all experience things differently, we speak differently, and I know the people who are meant to come to me will, because Spirit will guide them there.
Right.
You know?
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's, yeah. Nailed it. Yes, and that's the one really amazing thing about those fairs is, from the get-go, they're always like, whoever's meant to find us will find us, and who's ever meant to be here to get help or seek whatever, connect with those on the other side. Whatever they're meant to be there for, they will find the people they need to find.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
it's very interesting to me how many times, because Jeremiah and I started doing booths separately, so he'd have the reading booth and I'd run the vending booth at these fairs. And I can't, and a lot of times, when people would come in, they'd be captivated and we'd be having a conversation and it would be so impactful with them, right? And then we'd be talking about readings, and so many times they would be like, "Oh yeah, I just decided to come to the fair and I'm just wandering around and I've got enough money for one reading." And when you've got that person, it's like, and I can't tell you how many different readers they'd be like, "Yeah, I was just really that one took me by surprise," or I was really drawn to that booth or whatever. And it's like, well, whatever those people, because you for a fact, Lena, that at Serafina and Gigi, their fairs, for the most part, every single person that is there, they would back, they would go to bat for, as in if somebody challenged "Oh, they're a phony," no, they're not. I have all the confidence in the world, and anybody that's in any of one of those fairs that is there doing readings, they're not fake, they're not phony, they're they're there for the right reason. And yes, you have to make money, but that's how you pay your bills. If you're a mechanic, you're not going to just keep working on people's cars for free. You have bills to pay. You have to buy food and groceries and, housing, whatever. If you have children, you have to buy them bigger pants, right? And so it's people don't realize.
I'm absolutely open if somebody wants to pay all my bills.
I know.
I'm good with that, but I figure that probably isn't going to happen.
Well, if I win the lottery, I will pay your bills, and you and Dave can just move. We'll build you a house, and you can just be our neighbors.
Well, I'm still kind of leaning towards that Missouri move.
Oh, yes, that's true. That'll give us a reason to go. How far out in Missouri is it? Is it in eastern Missouri or what?
It's actually in the western side.
Oh, in the western. I was thinking
That's not bad.
I was thinking if she was going close to where Becky's at. On the eastern side.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. My sister-in-law lives on the eastern side of Missouri. Lena, I was like, maybe you're going to be close to her. But Jeremiah, do you have any questions for Lena?
I would be closer to Tay, probably.
Oh, you know what? That's a lovely soul to be close to.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, I have to tell you, so the intro to this podcast, there's a picture of me and it's that doesn't really look like Stephanie. Well, when I hit my goal weight, it will.
Yeah.
Yep. Though when those pictures were taken was when I was at my goal weight before. And so I don't have much further to go, guys. I'm super excited about it. It's working. Tay and Lakin are freaking amazing.
I don't know why you're worried about it, because you're gorgeous. So inside and
Oh,
out, and
I
I
love
think
you.
you need to not be, you need to not be so hard on yourself. Like,
So
the
rigid.
harder you are on yourself about that, the harder it's going to be for you to get to where you want to be.
I'm like a racehorse, man. I'm like got blinders on. I'm pretty determined. Except when Lena comes to town. She's my influencer.
I'm a negative influence
No.
on this.
No.
You're a boss. You are my reality check influencer. Like, just sit down and just eat the damn food, Stephanie. It's delicious, right? But yeah.
Well, the main thing is, like, if you deprive yourself of things that bring you pleasure, then later you're going to binge on those things, and that's not going to be a healthy result.
No, for me especially, no, it will not be a healthy result in any way, form, or fashion. That's no secret to you, obviously. That's no secret to Jeremiah, obviously. But no, that's setting me up for a very, very destructive situation. So yes, Lena, you come to town once a month and we will just eat. You can bring the chili and the spices and the cocoa, which, by the way, I love the cocoa. Oh, that's your. I was like, what the hell? The tablecloth is moving. Oh, it was Jeremiah.
Carl did say he saw a shadow over your shoulder a while ago. That was
Really?
Yeah, that was quite a bit earlier. But yeah.
Was it the mail?
I have to be
Oh.
real. The monthly visit might not happen during the busy months, like
No, I get it.
October, November. I am booked like every weekend. So
It's-
for
you know
some
what?
events or private parties, those types of things.
Our
So,
door, our weekend availability schedule, so our door is always open. Even the weekends that are, the availability schedule is not exactly open. I'll be here all weekend. I'll be here every weekend. It's just the weekends Jeremiah works that makes it a little tricky. But so Jeremiah, do you have any questions for Lena? Because we are about out of time, believe it or not.
No,
What time is it?
It is.
Yeah.
8:30.
It is, by God. Lena, time flies when we're talking to Lena.
It always does.
Hey, scroll up here, please. I want to see something.
It's what?
I want to see that. Right. That's right now?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. So, Lena, if you could, anybody who's out there that's just really struggling right now with just life and, just having a lot of inner turmoil. And I feel like, because I had a conversation with an individual today, and they were just talking about how, they are, just keep seeing hawks everywhere. And so, I didn't really know what that meant, but I'm like, well, like 3 hawks in groups of 3. She was seeing groups of 3 hawks constantly. And I was like, I feel like that symbolizes, like there's protection with that, there's, there's also, I feel like, a rebirth of some kind. Maybe you're going through some shadow work that you don't even realize what that word means, like I was. And, maybe you're having some kind of a rebirth with your spirituality, and that's kind of can be difficult and stuff. But I don't know if I was accurate. That's just kind of what I was feeling like she needed to hear. And I just said, like with this year, it's just, everybody's being because at everybody's core, they don't really like change, big change. And so, I guess maybe some people do, but I know I don't. And so I'm like, well, the human experience, everybody is being forced to be shifted in one way, form, or fashion because of how the reality of the world we live in today is. And so I'm like, if you're any kind of an empath, which I feel like this girl is, she's really, really struggling, Lena. She's really struggling with just being overwhelmed and, picking up on things, and she doesn't understand why she's feeling the way she's feeling. And you got any wise words to the people out there who might be experiencing something like that?
Well, I usually try to tell them to take a deep breath and just listen. Sometimes we just need to take a step back and listen. Listen to all the things around us, listen to our inner voice, trust our experiences. What have we went through in the past? Did we make it through something similar, and what did we use then to get through it?
Okay.
Because honestly, there's so many different things happening right now in 2020, and so many people are struggling with it. But we really have the opportunity to get to the point where we learn what's truly important right now.
Oh yeah,
And
for sure.
that would be, those ties to spirit, those ties to family, the ties to ourselves, you know. And the hawk is a messenger. They come with, messages from spirit. And so usually if the hawk is very strong and very present, it means they need to listen more. They need to listen
Okay.
to their inner voice.
Okay.
Good meditation, and don't try to do structured meditation. Structured meditation or guided meditations can sometimes throw us off from hearing those messages. Sometimes it's just about sitting down and relaxing. Like when you're driving in your car and you're just chilling out and all of a sudden those thoughts start rolling through your head, and you just have one thought right after the other. That's how the spirits talk to us. That's how our guides talk to us. And because we're in that relaxed state, they're just coming very quickly. It might be old memories that we need to remember because it's a lesson we needed from that time. Or it might be things that they're showing us, images that they're showing us. We always have to trust that.
Right.
I see some of my most relaxing moments are just when I'm just sitting down and just listening to the sounds of nature.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to deep breathe. I'm not trying to do yoga. I'm not trying to meditate in a structured way. I'm just listening.
So
And
hey,
then the thoughts start to go.
two questions on the chat, Lena, and then we'll do these two questions, and then we're gonna have to get off here. One individual is wondering, what about vultures? What's the yeah.
Vultures are definitely a little bit more of a warning to kind of be aware of the people around you, that maybe someone is not as trustworthy in your circle, or maybe that, there's things that'll happen that maybe will cause you to feel like you can't trust.
Gotcha.
They can also represent that strength within us. Vultures, they're very good at finding what they want. They're little scavengers.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
They get things. They know how to survive, and so they don't care what it is. They'll survive. So you can find reserves of strength within you. So a lot of times when the vulture comes, even if it is a warning, it's a reminder that you have the strength to get through it. So you have to kind of connect to that energy. And this is based on what my guide is saying, because I am not an animal totems expert. Okay?
Right.
I'm
not either.
Telling me
I'm not either. Okay.
The other thing is, like, when it comes right down to it, like with, if you're seeing them multiple times over and over, I call that a synchronicity. That's when Spirit's trying to get your attention. He's like, hey, wake up. I'm trying to tell you something.
Need to pay attention to something
There
here.
you go. That was your explanation from Lena about the vultures, my dear. Okay, so the last question we got is from, actually it's Dan. I'll tell you who it is, Dan, good old Dan. He says, I see 11:11, 1:11, 2:22, and 3:33 every freaking day, both sides for the last 4 months or so. Can you tell me what this is? Clock, by the way. It draws me to look at that moment.
Okay.
You want me to read that again?
Just the very last couple of sentences, because it really did a weird beep thing at me.
Okay. Okay, he said, I'm just going to read it all again because I was a little sketchy with reading it. It says, I see 11:11, 1:11, 2:22, and 3:33 every day, both sides for the last 4 months or so. Can you tell me what that is? Clocks, by the way. It draws me to look at it at the moment. That is the time on the clock.
So that's Spirit trying to tell him he needs to pay more attention to his messages and his psychic abilities, because the different numbers have different meanings. And I sent you a list, I believe, a picture of some of the basics of those.
Yes.
The 11:11, that's a beautiful, beautiful number for psychics to see.
Yes, it is.
It is a reminder that there's a lot of new things on the horizon there. So, the fact that he's seeing the threes, that's about the equilibrium. It's about balance. It's the Holy Trinity. There's multiple things that 3 can represent there. It's a very powerful energy, but it's also about paying attention to your mind, your body, and your spirit all at the same time, not just one or the other in excess. Does that make sense?
Yes. So, Lena, I got to tell you a quick story about before you get to 222 here. So, when I was, I might have told you this, I think I might have, but everybody in Facebook land can hear it. So, when I was pregnant with Sophie, but it was before I knew I was pregnant with Sophie, I woke up in the middle of the night, looked at the clock, it said 222, got my phone. I feel like I was like all these like numbers and names and dates were like downloaded, and I was connecting all the dots, and at the very end of what I gathered of everything, it was like I knew at that moment I was going to have a 3rd child, and it was going to be a little girl. And I even wrote that down. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I showed him that after the fact of, next day. I was like, this all hit me at like 2:22 a.m. Don't know what it means, but I'm pretty sure this is like a thing. And yeah, so what does 222 mean, Lena, for the viewers to get some insight?
Well, 222 is actually, it's a duality thing too. So there can be multiple energies with that, like it can be good and bad. But to be honest with yours, straight up with your 2, it was a reflection of the fact that she was going to be born on the 2nd.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
So,
That
was she
makes
born on the 2nd?
Yes,
Yep.
She was.
Yep, October 2nd,
so-
actually, here in just a few days.
Oh my God.
Awesome.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So that's beautiful energy in itself, but the multiples of 2, it is a reminder that, we have to look at both sides of the story too. Maybe he's getting some good information, but he's also getting some bad information. So he kind of has to decipher, which is where that intuition comes in, with that 1111, that one energy and being that source energy. It is the head, it is the beginning, it is the unity that we feel. So it's kind of like using all of those things like mind, body, and spirit. It's telling him, hello, we're trying to tell you something.
Right.
And you need to start working on it. And I think, he's knowing that. I think he has, based on what my gut is saying, he knows he has to work on it, but he's also knowing that he has to, take it a little bit at a time.
Right.
And so I think he's a little hesitant because he's afraid of letting in anything negative. And I think he's had some experiences with some negativity, but he's got to learn how to protect himself and at the same time use that good energy.
Okay. Dan, I hope that gives you some insight, my friend. Yes, he says yes. That makes sense. Okay, one last one. Squeeze in here. Speaking of numbers, somebody would like to know what about 444, 444?
So what my experience has been with 4s is that it usually represents that we're on the verge of some changes, also some health things that need to be maybe addressed.
Okay.
Another thing we see sometimes with 4s is that, the energy is very loving and tender, and sometimes maybe you're just being a little too soft, and so there maybe is people around you that are maybe taking advantage and you're not recognizing it fully.
Open your...
That's what my experience has been.
Okay.
Now, I don't know, I can go ahead and, I sent you the picture,
Yeah.
so you guys can post that. That's one that I really felt a connection with. It's not mine personally. I saw it on the internet. Somebody posted it. I was like, oh, I feel a connection with this. And I'll be happy to post it on my Peaceful Whispers page if I need to. But
Oh, cool.
or if somebody wants to message me privately in Facebook, I can send them that picture so they can have that list.
Yeah.
But just say, hey, can you send me that numbers list?
Okay.
Cool.
Because if you don't, if they just randomly say, oh, this person wants it, this person wants it, my brain is not going to remember all
Right,
that. So
right.
reach out to me directly.
So you
know,
could, Jeremiah, you could
um,
attach that to tonight's post,
Yeah,
couldn't you?
yeah.
The numbers picture. That way they can either, or if they want to reach out to you, whatever you want to do. Hey, she said thank you, by the way, Lena. All right, people. It's about that time. Lena, this has been wonderful. You are welcome anytime in our home, on our show.
Always.
Yeah, always. And we will, we'll do this again.
Well, and you know, maybe I can do a live one of this event on a weeknight sometime.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I can just come down for that night because I can do weeknights during the month, but I can't do weekends. So you guys maybe shoot some dates that might be an option for you.
Yes, the Monday after Thanksgiving is an option.
I'm hoping to be down in your area if I can get it set up. I'm hoping that I'll have a place to read out there in December, and if so, I will send you some dates and let you know for sure.
Woohoo! Okay.
But I do believe it's a weekend that particular weekend is a weekend that Jeremiah maybe is having to work. According to my guide, he won't be off that weekend unless he takes off.
I was gonna say if we know ahead of time, he can request it off.
So, we're looking at, I'm hopeful for the weekend of the 18th, 19th, and 20th, but I'm thinking I'm going to be booked on the 19th if I can get it going, so.
Oh, great. Cool.
But we'll be doing readings maybe on the 19th and 20th out in that area.
Okay.
Very cool.
I will be in Dodge City the weekend before that, December 11th, 12th, and 13th. I know we've got some Dodge City people watching, and so yeah. That's where I'm at.
Sweet. The ever-growing traveling psychic. Anyways, well, Lena, this has been fabulous, and we love you to death.
I will be doing it for anybody that wants to travel up this way. I will be in Linwood doing a channeling at the Linwood Library. We're going to be doing an outside event, so there'll be room for social distancing, but that'll be October 1st, and so it's a full moon also. That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Very cool.
So,
yes.
and I'll post on my Facebook where I'm going to be, so they can find me on Facebook, Peaceful Whispers, LLC.
Okay, perfect. All right, my dear, well, you stay safe, and we will be in touch, and thank you so much, and everybody says thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and we all love you, and you guys, you and Dave, you're just awesome. So you take care, and we will be in touch, my dear.
Yep.
Have a good night. Have a good week.
We'll talk to you later.
Thank you, guys. I had a great time.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Bye. Well, that was really cool.
Oh, yeah, that was a really...
It's always good to talk to her.
That was a really
It's
good
just-
conversation. That was just a really good conversation. Hey, so again, everybody that followed the protocol for the stickers, hold the sticker up again. Yes, congratulations to those 8 of you that did it, and we thank you. It's upside down.
Oh, it is.
It is. There you go. And we
Let me
thank
get a
you.
closer shot there.
We thank you so much for participating, and like I said, we'll be, every so often we'll do another one of the drawings and whatnot, and
Maybe when we hit, what's your magic number, 979?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a shirt drawing and a sticker drawing
at 979.
at 979 or something.
Okay.
We'll have another special edition shirt or something.
Yes. So anyways, yes, to recap, that was an amazing show with Lena. It always is. It's never, it's inevitable. It's going to be a good one.
It just always is.
She's just the most positive, humble, authentic, genuine person I think I've ever met.
Yeah.
Aside from you. I honestly believe that. She just has this quality that you just don't find in people. That authenticity that, everybody I think wants to have, but just either one doesn't know how, or two, you've been conditioned to, you know what I mean? Anyways, so yes, everybody who joined in tonight, we thank you so much. Remember, next Monday, we're going to have Karen Goodson on, and she's the numerologist, and that's going to be incredible.
Yeah, she's amazing.
She is absolutely amazing. I don't know if she'll be open to taking questions off of the... she probably would be open to taking general questions about numbers. I'm not going to go as far as to say she'll take specific,
Right.
about
We'll
people,
have
because it
to-
takes time, because like those numerology
Yeah.
readings, like it's not like a simple, hey, what is this? Oh yeah, that's that. No, like there's a lot that goes into
like,
those.
There's like actual math
Yeah,
that they
like
go
there's
through.
there's
and
processes,
it's,
and Tasha, we love our Lena time as well. So anyways, you guys take care. Have a great night. We'll see you back here next Monday.
If you haven't
And-
already, like the page,
Oh,
like the
yeah.
video, share the video, help us get
And
the
as-
word out
yes,
about this crazy
yes.
thing that we're doing and
And as-
having so much fun with.
Yes, and as always, Lena, she gives such accurate readings. We briefly touched on the types of readings she does, and I'm sure there's a lot more that she does than she posts about. So if there's a need that you have, with readings, whatnot, I'm sure that she has something that will fit, and that, you can definitely gain insight and, check into. She's the real deal,
And
people.
you can always count on her to be very honest. If she, like she talked about during the show.
Yeah.
If she is not connecting or is
She'll
just
tell
for
ya.
whatever reason unable to do the reading for you, she will tell you, and she'll do her
Yes.
best to refer you to someone based on what her guides are telling her that will be able to meet your needs better. So
Oh, yeah, for sure,
She
for
she
sure.
is amazing with that kind of stuff.
For sure. Anyways, well, we're about to sign off here, I think, and we made it through Monday, on to Tuesday, and then Wednesday. I don't want to get swabbed again. Oh God!
Well, I have
don't
to
wanna
go back
get
to work
swabbed
tomorrow,
again.
so
I know. Anyways, all right, you guys take care, and we love you all. And Jeremiah, thanks to Ben Nichols.
what? Just don't forget to tune in next week while we keep shaking hands with the shadows.
Bye, guys. Have a good night. We love you all. Reach out. People, reach out. Send us your addresses if you won the sticker. Are we still live? Or did you shut it off?
Not yet.
Okay, yeah. Sorry. Those 8 people we mentioned. Do you want to read the names one more time?
Sure.
Okay.
It is. I still can't read that.
We'll reach
name.
out to him.
Yes, I'll reach out to you.
Mr. Witsulski.
Witulski, something like that. Tiffany Whitmer, Max Laird, Debbie Zinner, Captain Carl, Barbara Johnson Hinman, Amanda Cole, and Claire Nichols.
Yes, you 8 people, send us your addresses and we will send you. Oh my God.
Oh, that's
Well-
good luck.
Is it?
Yes.
Can you guys see? I don't know if they can see it.
We have a cricket on the
have a
table.
Cricket on the table. Anybody know what that means? Hello, little guy.
Crickets. I know it's bad luck to kill a cricket
Can
in
we
the
call
house.
it Jiminy? We'll call it Jiminy.
All right, guys. You guys have a great night. Don't forget to
Bye.
like, share, subscribe, whatever it is on the platform you're watching on. We appreciate you so much, and we will see you next week.
Oh, it's a little cricket. Bye, guys.